Someone praised your work today. You've already forgotten it. But that comment from years ago, the one that stung, you could quote it word for word. 9 compliments and 1 criticism, and your brain files the criticism like evidence. This isn't you being negative, it's machinery. And once you see how it works, you'll never read your own mind the same way. Psychologists have a blunt name for this: the negativity bias. And it isn't a mood or a mindset or something that only happens to pessimists. A psychologist named Roy Baumeister gathered hundreds of studies across every corner of life: relationships, money, memory, reputation, looking for a single pattern. He found one, and it became the title of the paper. Bad is stronger than good. Not sometimes, not for some people, almost everywhere scientists have ever looked. That's the claim, and the evidence for it gets more unsettling the deeper you go. So let's climb down, level by level. Level 1. This bias is so consistent, it has a number. John Gottman, a psychologist at the University of Washington, spent years filming couples, dinner table chats, small disagreements, ordinary evenings, and then tracked which marriages lasted. He found he could predict it with frightening accuracy. And the strongest signal was a ratio. Stable couples needed roughly 5 positive moments to absorb every 1 negative moment. 5 to 1. Fall below that exchange rate and the relationship started to sink, no matter how much love was left. Think about what that means. 1 sharp comment doesn't equal 1 kind word. It costs about 5. Your brain is running an exchange rate you never agreed to, and it's why a single criticism at work can wipe out a whole day of getting it right. Level 2. And this is where it stops being about attitude. The bias fires before you've had a single conscious thought. A psychologist named John Cassiopo wired people up to electrodes at Ohio State and showed them a stream of images, pleasant, neutral, unpleasant, while recording the brain's electrical response. The negative images produced a measurably bigger spike within a few hundred milliseconds. That's faster than deliberate thought, faster than deciding anything. In other words, by the time you consciously register a criticism, your brain has already voted, already flagged it as urgent, already turned up the volume. You never chose to dwell on that comment. The dwelling was arranged before you even arrived. And if it's wired that deep, it doesn't just change what you notice, it changes what you keep. Level 3. The bias doesn't just weigh the present, it edits your memory. Elizabeth Kensinger, a memory scientist at Boston College, found that negative events are stored differently, with more sensory detail, more vividness, more staying power. Positive memories tend to compress into summaries. The holiday was lovely. Negative ones keep the footage, the exact words, the tone, where you were standing. It's why the praise from your last review became a vague fact. It went well, while the one criticism is still a film you can replay in high definition years on. Now zoom out, and it gets darker. If negative moments are stored in detail and positive ones fade to summaries, then your memory of whole stretches of your life tilts. One bad ending can color a good year. One cruel remark can outlive 100 kindnesses. Not because it mattered more, but because it was filed better. Which brings us to the bottom of the staircase. Why would a brain be built like this? Because for most of history, the maths of survival was brutally lopsided. Miss something good, a berry bush, a compliment, an opportunity, and you lose a little. Miss something bad, a predator, a poison, an enemy, and you lose everything. Evolution didn't build a fair judge. It built a smoke alarm, calibrated so that false alarms were cheap and missed threats were fatal. Paul Rosen, a psychologist at the University of Pennsylvania, captured the asymmetry in one image. A single cockroach ruins a bowl of cherries, but a single cherry does absolutely nothing for a bowl of cockroaches. That's the machinery you inherited. A mind where bad is louder, faster, stickier. Not because bad is truer, because once, long ago, bad was lethal. So here's the turn. That criticism you still carry, the one that surfaces at quiet moments, it doesn't keep coming back because it was the truest thing anyone ever said about you. It comes back because your brain files threats in high definition and praise in shorthand. Loud is not the same as true. And the praise you've forgotten? It didn't fail to land because it was false or polite or didn't count. It landed in the filing system that was never designed to keep it. You haven't been seeing your life clearly and feeling bad about it. You've been reading a record that was edited by an alarm system and mistaking the edit for the truth. You can't switch the alarm off, but you can stop letting it do the accounting. First, know the exchange rate. When one criticism is drowning 10 kind words, remember, it's not maths, it's wiring. Name it. That's the alarm, not the audit. Second, give good things a fighting chance at the filing stage. When something kind happens, don't let it slide past in a second. Hold it for a moment. Notice the detail. Let it become footage instead of a summary. You're not inflating anything. You're correcting a known distortion. And when the old comment resurfaces tonight, let it play, and then remind yourself who hit record and why. Your brain was never keeping score fairly. It was keeping you alive, with a system built for a world of predators applied to a world of comment sections and performance reviews. The criticism was never the truest thing about you. It was just the loudest. If this changed how you hear your own memories, leave comments down below, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who can't forget that one comment. This is ORIGINIFY, where we undiscover the hidden forces shaping everyday life and uncover the quiet truths behind what it means to be human. I will see you in the next video.